Okay, we'll go ahead and call the Board of Public Works meeting for November 15th, 2017 to order. First, we have the reading and approving of the minutes. A motion to accept the previous meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next, we have the payment of the claims. We have some blight elimination claims. Looks like, I think we just have one
Property.
that we're purchasing through the funds. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, what is it, 378 Main?
Yeah, 378 East Main, purchasing it for $2,000. $205 for the title search, $5 for transfer of title, and $25 for recording the deed, for a grand total of $2,235. Is there any questions on the board on the blight elimination claims?
Mm-mm.
Yes, sir.
Any questions from the public? I'll take a motion to accept the blight elimination claims.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next, we have the regular city claims. We got a total this month of $279,000 and some change. I didn't notice anything.
It looked like the biggest expenditure was an
Insurance.
FAA.
Oh, we got that FAA
For the
grant.
airport.
Do
So what that is it's a grant. We get the money from the state for that, and then we turn around and pay it back out. So that didn't necessarily come from our funds. It's funds from the state.
And was that for the fuel tank?
Yeah, that's for the tank.
That's what I thought. I saw some insurance came out, and just a lot of little stuff. Is there any questions from the board on any?
that was my question, is what, because that was a pretty big expenditure, so I didn't know what that was for.
100,000, just a little over 100,000. And that 100,000, that was all grant, none of that was city match of that particular, you know?
Not on that particular one. So basically, for the last couple of years, the city had not budgeted quite enough for the matching portion. And a lot of times, we had a question about this when Lori was paying the bills, because a lot of times we will pay that, plus we will pay our portion. It's not a matching, but it's a portion. And this time we're not doing it because if you remember, if you saw the minutes for the city council meeting, we appropriated some money to go into aviation. That money that we appropriated was to go ahead and make up the shortfall of our portion. So now that we have that appropriated, we will be able, he just didn't bill us for it this time because he knew that we were working on an appropriation for it. So now that that's gone through, we'll pay our portion.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the long answer to your question is no, none of that was matching funds, yeah.
All right. No, I've lost it. Is there any other questions from the board? I guess that was all the questions. And any questions from the public? We have a motion to accept the payment of the claims.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have our city attorney report. Want to talk to us about harassing squirrels, Dustin? Or
Yes, that's no longer a public safety issue.
right?
So evidently, we've gotten quite a little bit of press.
We were on
Presently.
NPR.
What?
We were on NPR yesterday. They were talking about harassing squirrels.
Federal NPR?
No.
IPR, Indiana Public Radio.
Sure.
There-
What Joe said. All I know is I heard it on the radio.
Well, Ashley had mentioned that it was on Chicago Tribune's website, or one of the large paper in Chicago's website, so all out there.
Wow,
Yeah,
here's our
and-
15 minutes.
Yeah, and we made it on the morning news for one of the news stations with that.
It was on Fox 59's website too.
Yeah.
You know, I get more calls through the police department, of, like when we help an animal, than I will on any kind of arrest or any kind of pursuit or anything like that. It's amazing to me.
Like the
Mhm.
kitten in the river kind of thing.
Right, the kitten in the river, the
Yeah.
pursuit of the cows.
Right.
Yeah.
Pursuit of the cows.
Yeah.
It's amazing what people latch on to and find to be newsworthy. Oh, and Tish was telling me she saw some comments where people were complaining that we had wasted our time going through and doing that. You can't make people happy.
They're not our citizens, though, that are complaining.
What's that?
Those weren't our citizens that were complaining on.
Oh, mhm.
I was on the Kokomo side.
Oh, so people elsewhere have time to criticize our city
Yes, yes.
about our utilization of time.
Yeah, right.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, yep, clear.
Okay.
Clear's mud.
You have anything else, Dustin?
I'd say this, the SBA agreements with the utilities, the city, and Peru Municipal Building Corp, Facilities Corp, one of those two, approved for the cell tower lease on top of the water tower up in the northwest corridor. That check was put in the mail yesterday, so that's finished, so you won't be signing any more papers on that.
That's hard to believe.
Right. But I'd say there's nothing at this time. Filing ordinance violations claims, we filed 5 this week, so. And that is with the county court.
All right. Well, next we'll move on to old business. Seeing none under old business, we'll move on to new business. Chief Meeks, you have a request for approval of the hiring of Lucas
The bar?
Labar.
Yes, sir.
You want to talk to us about that?
Yes, I'll start off by maybe explaining to the Board of Works what our testing process entails. We actually have a 7-step process, which includes a physical, a written test, a couple of interviews, a background investigation, and then they have to go for a psychological and physical examination down in Indianapolis. I started off, I believe it was with 26 applicants, and Luke was the only one that made it through the whole process for us. We're real excited about him. He's a local kid. He's 24 years old, and he's a 2012 graduate of Peru High School. Right now he's a soccer coach, and he also works in the computer technology department at the high school with Mr. Moon here, or at Elmwood School, I'm sorry, with Mr. Moon. So real excited about him. I know that he's tried out with our department a couple times. Seems like a really bright kid. Through the background investigation that Detective Josh Ulrey did, he came through with flying colors. And the public really likes him. Everybody that he spoke to, his references, any coaches, we didn't see anything wrong with his background at all. So real excited about having him on board, and just asking for the Board of Works to approve his hiring, which would take effect December 1st. At that point, then we start a 14-week in-house on-the-job training program, and then he would go to the academy most likely in June or July, and that's a 15-week training process. So 29 weeks to get an officer trained and ready to work the streets for us. So it's a little bit tired, or a lengthy process, I guess maybe is the best way to put that. So he's then on a 1-year probationary period as of December 1st. So he has to make it through that 1-year probationary period, making sure that he passes everything that we require as a police officer. And so we monitor that extremely well. We have a field training officer program that we put him through with that 14-week process. And we continue to monitor him and pick up any deficiencies, and should continue to encourage him and get him trained up as well as we can to be a good, productive police officer for the city. So with that being said, I know that I've submitted a letter requesting his hiring, so I would at this time request the Board of Works to consider his appointment with the city of Peru.
Thank you, Chief.
Did you say that he has tried to join the force a couple of times before?
At least one other time, yes.
What did he have to do different to pass this time around?
He did not pass the written test, I believe, the first time around, but this time he did.
So he got some studying done?
Maybe a little less nervous, I'm not sure.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah,
but nothing
because-
that would be a major
No.
flag on your end of things?
Right. Our test is a little bit difficult. It's a lot of memorization. You study a booklet for about, I think it's 15 minutes or half an hour, I can't remember, and you put it away, and there's a lot of memorization out of that book. So It's confusing. I was about to say, I already say I couldn't pass it, but, you know, I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I'm afraid to take the test. I didn't take it because I don't want to know. Because it's a different test than when I had hired him at the police department. So that was the reason why that he did not go through the
Okay.
process the first time.
Okay.
Yes.
And what position is he filling in there?
He would be the one that was Cody Williams. Remember Cody Williams' resignation? Yeah, that would be the spot.
That's right.
And so that's the one position we're going to fill. We're projecting that Sherm Fisher, just for future knowledge, Sherm Fisher is going to be resigning or retiring in February with 25 years of service with our department. So we're actually going to restart another hiring process this Saturday. Thank you to the fire department for allowing, they always host it for us with their training facility down there. So we're going to start another hiring process to hopefully fill a position in February too.
Awesome.
Are you guys full staff or just that one?
Just that one spot.
Just that one spot?
Yes. Which, like I said, then takes 29 weeks to fill it because you have to get it trained and ready to go.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the public? All right. Do I have a motion to accept Chief Meek's request for a, what is the term? A probationary employment
Yes.
with the Peru Police Department?
So moved.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
So when do you guys do your, get that day off with your physical training? Is that coming up?
Yeah, actually, it was only, it was real light turnout for that. It was just myself and Charlie Pelzel that showed up for it, and we both passed. So,
You guys didn't have to take the written test?
You passed
right?
yourself?
no, just the physical test.
So if it's just the two of you, do you just say you passed? Yeah, you passed.
No.
Okay, I'm just checking. Due process,
I've
right?
seen you working out hard, so I knew you
Yeah.
passed it.
There you go. So no, so I've already taken that day off. So, and that's
Perfect.
Officer Pelzel.
I was just hoping, wondering if anybody utilized it and actually hope that you get more people than that, but
Yeah, I thought I planned it on a good day, and it just seemed like, I know about half the department wanted to come, and it just seemed like there was a bunch of guys that had other plans that day, and some just forgot.
Yeah, I think that'd be something I'd show up for.
to watch.
Well, no, like if I was on the force.
Yeah.
Oh, to get a free day off?
Free day, yeah, I'd absolutely.
Do,
be showing
if
up
we
for
can
that.
do it, do we get a day off?
I don't know. Depends on how hard it is, I guess.
I could do it.
You know.
Hey, Saturday,
Okay.
Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, we'll see you there.
All right.
Saturday at 9. Yeah.
Or December the 2nd, if you want to come to that. you'll have to also-
Is that a Saturday at 9 a.m.?
As a spectator, right?
You can join in if you like.
Is this why the department head meetings run over so much? Is because whenever I lead the department head meetings, they go for 2
I was
hours?
just going to say, I want to take the memorization test. I want to take, I want to.
Yeah.
That's
Seriously,
fun.
come
Yeah.
on. Be about 10:30, 11 o'clock, come on.
I'm on it.
Just to see where you're at, see if you were a police officer material.
I got this. I can't run for nothing, but I can remember stuff.
That's why they have cars.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, is there anything else to come before the board? All right, seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we're good.